Yeah. Okay, so now come back again to the topic. News editor decide what to broadcast on television and what to print in newspapers. So can you tell me why do they need to make a decision like that?
Thank you for your question. Because youth editor decide what to broadcast on television and what to print in newspaper because they want to know what kind of news that people in the planet like the most, good news or bad news.
So there will be two options for them, good news and bad news. Then so they have to decide, right? Which one
Yeah,
should be broadcast? Mhm. And usually, what news? Bad news or good news that they decide to broadcast?
usually the radio station and the newspaper, they usually broadcast only the bad news because a lot of people like listening to bad news.
Hmm. So what happens if they decide to broadcast good news?
If they broadcast only good news, they will have a little bit of views and listener because people like the bad news more.
Hmm. Yeah, people like bad news. Okay, they don't like good news. Maybe no people read their newspapers, or maybe no people will listen to their broadcast on television. Okay, now can you read the first paragraph?
It has often been said that good news is bad news because it does not follow newspaper. A radio station that once decided to present only good news soon found that it had gone out of business for lack of listener. Bad news, on the other hand, is so common that in order to cope with it, we often simply ignore it. We have become immune to bad news, and the newspaper and radio station are aware of this.
Aware, aware.
Aware.
Yes, and the radio station are aware of this. Hmm. Okay, so it has been said, it has often been, or it has been said, good news is bad news. Hmm. What does it mean? Good news is bad news. Remember, yesterday we talked about this one already. So explain again. So good news is bad news. What is that?
Good news is bad news is because good news. No one wants to listen to good news. Only a little bit of people like good news. But bad news is good news because a lot of people like bad news.
Hmm. Yeah. No, it's not really go to the point. It's not really go to the point because it doesn't sell newspapers. What does it mean? It doesn't sell newspapers. Good news is bad news because it doesn't sell newspaper. Now, try to explain again. Review your memory. So what does it mean? Good news is bad news. Bad news for who? Good news is bad news. So bad news. Who will get bad news? People get bad news or what? Ah, you forgot this one, huh? Bad news is to the news editor. Bad news is to the news editors. So when they broadcast good news, no one buys the newspapers. Hmm? So when they don't buy the newspaper, do they get money?
No.
No. They can't get money from good news.
Yes.
So it will be bad news for the editors or for the company. Yeah. So good news is bad news. It means when you broadcast good news, people will not buy your newspaper, and you cannot get more profits. You cannot get much more money, and then it will be a bad news to the company. Yeah, it means like that. Mhm. The next one. The radio station that once decided to present only good news soon found that it had gone out of business for lack of listeners. What happened if the radio station decided to broadcast good news?
If a radio station decided to present only good news, they will soon find that it had gone out of business for lack of listeners.
Who is the listener?
The people.
Hmm. People. Yeah. Okay. So what does it mean? It means that people don't like good news, or what does it mean?
It means people don't like good news.
Hmm. Means people don't like good news. Okay. Hmm. And bad news. Bad news. So what's that? Bad news. Bad news is very bad. So that why the new editors they broadcast bad news?
The youth editor broadcasts the bad news because people like watching and listening the bad news. So the news editor and the company get a lot of money.
Is that good or bad for people to listen to bad news?
It is good because sometimes the bad news is like a new virus have discovered. And then when people listen to the bad news, they know about the virus, they can protect themselves from the virus.
Bad news mean very bad. Something's very bad. So why people like bad news? Like very dangerous, very serious traffic accident, like fire house in the house, or like what something's very heavily injured. So why people still like bad news? Is that good for people to watch bad news? How do they feel when people watch bad news? How do they feel? They feel bad or they feel good?
They feel bad, but they often ignore it.
They often ignore it. And then how do they feel when they watch bad news?
They feel bad.
They feel bad. When they watch bad news, they feel bad. They feel bad. And then why do they still want to watch bad news? They feel bad about bad news. Yeah. They feel not happy about bad news. Okay. Yeah. But news editor have to broadcast bad news. So when people feel bad, then why do they still want to watch bad news or still listen to the bad news? The last sentence is the answer. Can you read the last sentence? Why people still watch bad news?
We have become immune to bad news, and the newspaper and radio station are aware of this.
Yes. People have become immune. Yeah. It's a bad news. Yeah. It's really bad news. But people become immune to bad news. So they don't feel bad because they are immune. They become immune to bad news. So when they watch bad news, they feel nothing. Yeah, they feel nothing because they watch bad news every day, and people like to watch bad news. Sometimes they feel bad. Yeah, sometimes they feel bad, but they feel also anxious. They want to know some things, so they keep going on. But sometimes they feel sad. They feel unhappy of the things on bad news, but they still want to know about bad news because they have become immune to bad news. So this is why the news editor decide to broadcast bad news, because they know people's mind. They know your mind. They know my mind. They know people's mind. The bad news is still good to broadcast. Okay, so that's about it. Now we're gonna make a slide on this presentation. The first paragraph. Yeah, this is the first paragraph, right?
The Mary Celeste.
It's the Mary Celeste. No, I don't want to say about Mary Celeste. So our topic is about, what is that? The name of the topic is news.
What to broadcast on television and print in newspaper.
Okay. Now let's go and find the news editor.
You go to Uncle One when you go to film group.
Yeah. New editors. Okay. Yeah, so all of them are news editor. Yeah. I will select one as a new editor. This one. Put it as a cover. Yeah. Okay. That she's a news editor. And then I write some things here on the topic. So what? Do you remember the topic? That is topic number. What is the topic number this time?
A news editor.
No, what number? Number
48. 38.
38. Topic 38. Okay, so news
Editor.
editors. Then
Decide what to broadcast.
What to broadcast. And
No, what to broadcast on.
On
News on television.
television. and
and print in newspaper.
print on
In
newspaper. In newspaper, right? Like this. Yeah. And then
that's all.
No. The next one's not yet done. This one.
Plastic money.
Yeah, the other class they go to plastic money. Yeah,
Oh,
because you have to do your speaking test, so you will be slower than the other students.
yeah.
So you will follow them now.
They already finished.
Not yet, not yet. They just finished paragraph 1 and paragraph 2.
No,
They
no,
finished.
they are the last lesson in the book.
No, not yet. I have written maybe 7 topic, another 7 topic, not yet finished.
Oh,
Yeah, another 7 topic. Now let's see in the books. We don't study about food, about chocolate. Not yet study chocolate.
they didn't study chocolate.
Yes,
Uh,
but you study about chocolate too? Not yet, I think.
Already.
Already?
Chocolate made from cocaine.
I think the other class not yet studied this one. And the blue revolution?
No, not yet.
Not yet. 21 days without food.
No, not yet.
That easy, that one. And then what? Inflation?
Inflation.
Not yet. Yeah. And doing business around the world?
Yes,
Not yet.
we are at the mass marketing.
Yeah, yeah. So we still have inflation, doing business around the world, plastic money. So 3 topics already, right? 3 topic plus with 21 days without food. 4, the blue revolution. 5, yeah, another 5 topics not yet done. So
Oh, I'm still faster than them.
Sometimes you're faster than them. Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I think they don't finish chocolate yet. Okay, now look at that one. And then this one. Yeah, this one is also, what factors do you think influence these decisions? Right? So you have to
Yeah.
write it all in in here.
I don't remember the down one.
Uh, what factors
What do you think?
do you think influence what? What factors do you think influence these decisions? Well, one, question number 2, do we become used to bad news? Do we become used to bad news? And question number 3, would it be better if more good news was reported? Your mommy is coming. Hello, hello.
Hello. Hãy đi nghiện buổi chơi bánh nha.
Nghiện vừa chơi chú ơi. Chờ nó cho mày nó tập phi ngay ta. Cô là vô darling. If more good news.
Your Wi-Fi
Yeah,
disconnected.
it's go to, I don't know, it's cut off. Now I use the mobile data. It's cut off. Yeah.
When my mom left, your Wi-Fi disconnected.
Okay, so would it be better if more good news were reported? So this is were. I have to correct this one is were reported. Yeah, it's good news because this is good news. Or, but it can be singular. Singular is better. News because news we cannot count. So it's better to use was is better because it's uncountable noun is always in singular. So would it be better if more people, if more good news was reported? So this is the topic. Mhm. Okay, yeah, make it bigger. Make it bigger. Ah, no. Yes. Okay, that's it. Mhm. Now we go to the first slide. Okay, so what start? What words that they start? What? It has often been said that. Okay, so I write it here. It has often been said that. Yeah. Okay. So what's that? It has often been said that good news is bad news. Yeah, because it does not sell newspapers. So I can write good news is bad news here. Yeah, I can write good news is bad news. Good news is bad news because it does not sell newspaper. A radio station that once decided to present good news soon found that it has gone out of business. Okay. A radio station. So I would write radio station. Yeah, a radio
Yeah.
station. Yeah. So they would found out gone out of business or lack of listeners. So then I write it lacks of listener. Yeah. And lacks of lack of listener. Yeah. Found out that there would be lack of listeners. Okay. Bad news. So common. Hmm? To cope with it. So bad news on the other hand is so common. Yeah, then I write bad news. So common. Bad news. Hmm. Bad news. So common. Hmm? That in order to cope with it, we just ignore it. It's bad news. So in order to cope with it, to solve the problem with the bad news, just don't care about it. Just ignore it. Yeah. Okay. It's so common. So number one, ignore it. Yeah. Number two. Yeah. Number two, what? Bad news become immune. People become immune to bad news. Hmm. Yeah. So I can write that What? Ignore. Ignore it. Yeah. Well, cope with is to ignore it. Huh? And then what? Immune. People become immune. Mm. So yeah, people become immune to bad news, and that's the news editor that knows about this, and they are aware of this. Yeah. Okay. That's all for the first paragraph. Now I'm gonna look for a picture on bad news and good news. Okay, so bad news. Oh, was that bad?
Breaking bad news.
Bad news and good news. Yeah, I like this one. Yeah, hey, that's good. So no picture. We just use this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bad news and good news. Okay. Now, if you look at this one, can you review this one again? It has been, it has often been said that,
It has often been said that good news is bad news, because it does not sell newspaper.
yes,
A radio station that once decided to present only good news soon
mm,
found out that uh, it has gone out of business for lack
mm,
of bad, bad news. In the other in the other hand, it's so common that in order to cope with it, we often ignore it. We have been immune to bad news, and the radio station and newspaper are aware of this.
yes, that's great. Yeah, okay, yeah, good.
Yeah, yeah. When I study with teacher Khmer, I don't remember anything, but I study with you.
Yeah,
Only,
good.
only you teach me, I remember a lot.
Yeah, we have to go slowly. We have to go slower. Don't go fast. Yeah.
But Khmer, he teach me the whole slide, and tomorrow he translated all and the free slide, and he showed me it and tell me to take a photo of
Yeah. 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 Okay. So he is trained to be a teacher. He is trained to be a teacher. He's not a teacher yet. So now he is my assistant. Yeah, he is my assistant, and then he is responsible to go to any class that the teacher absent. So when any teacher absent, I will send him to the classes. Yeah, and he
it.
also helped me. Yeah,
You also pay him?
sorry.
You pay him or not?
Oh yes, I have to pay him. Yeah, I have to pay him. He works. Yeah, he need a job. Yeah, so I have to pay him.
Teach for free? Ain't no way.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is the first paragraph for you, and this is the topic for you. So your homework today is what's that? So
Speak
if
Islam.
you remember, okay, so now I asked you the question related with this first paragraph. Is also with the this one with the title. Yeah. So the questions to the title is why do news editors they decide on what to broadcast on TV or print in newspapers? remember the answer. Why do they have to make decisions on how to broadcast and what to print?
News editor decide what to broadcast on television and print in newspaper because they want to know what kind of news that people like to watch and listen. But it usually be bad news.
Usually bad news. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then do people used to bad news? Do people become used to bad news?
Used to บอกผ่านเลย
ปลอบคลุน Yeah. Used to. Do people become used to bad news?
Yes, we have been immune to bad news.
Yeah, we have become immune to bad news. Okay, yeah. Okay, so people become immune to bad news. Okay, and then good news is bad news. Tell me, what does it mean?
Good news is bad news is that because the news editor, if they broadcast the good news in the newspaper, no one buy the newspaper. So the news editor and the whole company don't make money. So that is why good news is bad news.
Yeah. When they can't sell newspaper, it will become bad news for the company. Yeah, that's the answer. Yeah. Okay, so when a radio station they try to broadcast good news, what happened?
A radio station that decided to present only good news, they soon found that they have been gone out of business for lack of listening.
Yeah. Okay. How to deal with bad news?
Bad news is so common that in order to cope with it, we often ignore it.
Yeah. So it's bad news and people still watch bad news on television. Why? They can watch bad news like that.
People still watching bad news on television and on their mobile device because we have become immune to bad news.
Yeah, because people become immune. Not we can use people because people have become immune to bad news.
Yeah.
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 Do you listen to bad news every day?
No, I don't like bad news. Okay, so yeah.
At night, my mom often listen to the news. Sometimes good news and sometimes bad news, but I like both. I like both.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, listen to both bad news and good news. Okay, so this is your homework. Yeah. So your homework is to speak the slide. Yeah, speak the slide. Just speak the slides and voice. Drop your voice here.
Okay.
Okay, good. Thank you very much for today, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye. Bye.